Hey gang, how are you? Just wanted to give a little update, our last big update, and the final shooting schedule and how the schedule is going to work. And it's all pretty clearly laid out in the email. And if you have any questions, call or email me, and we'll talk about it. I think you're going to find that there are very few details that aren't there. Of course, 99% of what we're going to be shooting is going to be at Roy Arias, and I was there just yesterday, walking around the space again and taking more camera phone pictures and just getting a feel for it. You know, it's so different to occupy a space in your mind and then, occupy it in reality. So that's why I spent a little time there just walking around and sitting and just being there. Um, you folks have been terrific. Um, you're a terrific cast. The last 4 weeks of rehearsal have been brilliant. I mean, seriously great. And performance is the single most important part of any production. And a good cast, you're the linchpin to how everything else goes. You're the cornerstone. Because the truth of the matter is, you know, nobody talks about how good the camera work in a movie is if the performances aren't any good. Nobody talks about how great the direction or the script or the sound or the editing. Nobody talks about any of those things if the performances aren't good. And your performances are outstanding, which makes everyone else's job so much easier. All the little bits of business you all came up with, and I called and congratulated several of you. Like, wow! I mean, I love it when people bring so many ideas to the table, and you did, and you're brilliant, and I can't tell you how happy I am. And this is going to be a terrific shoot. This is going to be a fantastic movie. Although I said, at the beginning that, we're not trying to tell an orthodox story. You'll see in the schedule that I've added back a couple of scenes from American Personi, one of which is between Rashik and the Kevin character, and another one is a sort of pool party, which was how it was written in the first script, where basically the Kevin character is delivering a monologue, a little speech about Brechtian aesthetics and what he's going to do with this play and the difference between Aristotelian theater and Brechtian theater or epic theater. Although there is no dialogue for the other characters, while he's delivering this whole speech, there's some really cool interplay which sets up later scenes where Rashik and Celia are getting very chummy. The little looks, maybe the sharing of a cigarette, and Isaiah notices this, and Wesley notices Isaiah noticing this, which sets up the next scene. So, although I said we weren't going to be telling an orthodox story, I felt that a little too much had been pulled out, and that we needed some of that narrative connecting tissue to be put back in, so it's being put back in, and we had the time and the schedule to do it. And last but not least, I do want to set up some three-way conference calls on Skype between Steve Taylor, Rob, and myself, between Steve Taylor, Elise, and myself, and between Steve Taylor and Frank and myself. There were some nice little bits of business that Rob and I had worked out during one of the rehearsals that I'd like to get you up to speed on, Stephen. And same thing with Elise and myself. Little things that we did with sort of an aborted kiss and one of the squeezing of the wounds and so on. And that's really about it. Other than that, we'll set up those calls. If you need anything, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me. Again, thank you. This is going to be a great shoot. You are a great cast, and I can't wait to get started. Thanks a lot.